Kurt. Welcome to Good Enough Backyard Beekeeping. This video I'm going to talk about creating creamed honey for sale. There's a few reasons I wanted to do this video. One was to show my customers how creamed honey is made. A lot of my customers buying honey don't really understand where creamed honey comes from. They want to know what I added to it. In this video, I'm going to show you that there's really nothing added to it other than seed honey, which was regular honey that crystallized, and it just crystallized a special way. Second reason I wanted to show this video is to show how I make creamed honey. There are various ways of doing it. You can do it with large production tools to do this. There are creamers to create creamed honey that are very expensive. I'm going to show you how to do this as a small backyard beekeeper. Third reason I wanted to show you why I was making this honey was to show beekeepers how they could increase the value of their honey. I sell 12-ounce bottles of honey for $10. I sell creamed honey or 12 ounces of creamed honey for $15. That's a pretty significant increase in value of your honey. The work involved is not very hard. The problem I have with my process, it takes me several months to get the honey to set. Part of that could be because of the honey that I have doesn't crystallize very easily, and all honey will crystallize. So that's another wives' tale that I've had people coming by my honey. They said, "Oh, the honey at the store is fake because it crystallized." I said, "That's just the opposite. Real honey does crystallize." In this slide, I'm going to show you the different states that I'm familiar with honey being in. So the first one is just raw honey. That's liquid honey that you typically buy in a honey jar. Nothing special about it. It's just raw honey. Now the next one is the one that frustrates a lot of people is when their honey crystallizes. It gets hard. It's very gritty. It's hard to get out of the jar. Uh, Fairly easily remedied by heating the honey. It's a whole nother method that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but it's not too hard to get it back to liquid. And third one is creamed honey. Creamed honey is crystallized honey, but it's smaller crystals. Now, how do you get to the smaller crystals? There's a couple ways. One is you can literally take crystallized honey, put it in a mortar pedestal thing and smash them until you make powder. Takes quite a bit of effort to do that. The method I use is I just start with a seed honey, which is creamed honey with smaller crystals, and I mix that with my regular raw honey, and that's how I get there. So I just wanted to show you examples of the different honeys in different states. This is raw honey. You can see how it pours. It's very yummy, but it comes right out. This honey is about 17 or 18% moisture content. So if you think this is runny just because it's high moisture, no, this is normal. And this is creamed honey. You can see how much thicker it is. Nice and creamy. When I go to dribble it off the spoon, it pretty much stays. So it's very spreadable. And it still tastes very yummy. Now I'm going to show you how to make this from raw honey to creamed honey. So what I have here is a 12-ounce tub of creamed honey. This is honey I've made myself from my own creamed honey. So you start with a seed honey. We're going to pour this in here. Scoop it in there, I guess. This is 12 ounces of honey. And I'm going to do I think I'm going to do a 9-to-1 ratio. 9 parts of raw honey to 1 part creamed honey. I think the standard is around 10-to-1, and I tend to have a little trouble getting my honey to set. So I'm thinking if I start with a little more seed, it might help out. Now, as I say, that's good enough. I'll scrape that out for myself and do a little taste test. So let's figure out how much raw honey I need. So if I take 12 ounces of honey, which was my seed honey, multiply that times 9, that's 108 ounces of honey. I have no idea what that means. So let's divide that by 16, which is a pound. So I need 6 3/4 pounds. So since my bottles are 5-pound bottles of honey, I'm going to put 5 pounds in there and then estimate the other 1 3/4 pounds. We have our scale zeroed out. What we're looking for is 6 pounds and 12 ounces. So we'll pour away. Okay, I'm going to say good enough. We'll let that drain out into another container. Why waste it? So now we're at 4 and 13 ounces. Don't worry, there's 5 pounds in that bottle. Or there was. I was looking for 6 pounds, 12 ounces. We're at 5. Here comes 6. It's like Gold Rush. Nope, a little bit over. Here again, good enough. We're doing a 9-to-1 ratio. 10-to-1 is kind of the standard, so being a little over, that's fine. All right, our honey is set up in the mixer. I like to use this spatula mixer. It's got a nice flexible rubber edge. Put that up in there. Bring it down. I lock the mixer. And then I only go to its slowest speed. And we're going to mix this for about 10 minutes. It looks like we're getting to around 6 minutes, so I started from 10. I think I'm going to stop at 6 minutes. Now is when we get to the big gooey mess. I love honey, but boy, it is sticky. Okay, at this point I'm going to take the mixer off and set that aside. There you have it, creamed honey. Well, it's not actually creamed honey yet. It's still very liquidy. Okay, now we're going to put it in our 12-ounce tubs and let it set. Now, for me, it takes me anywhere from 2 to 3 months. Honey sets best at 57 degrees. That's some number someone came up with. I think it works. Unfortunately, my refrigerator is not at 57 degrees. My house is not at 57. So trying to get the optimum temperature is a little tough for me. That's why it takes so long for me to set the honey. I'll show you how I pour this. This is my least favorite part of this job. It is very messy. So I've zeroed out the scale. These for 12 ounces of creamed honey. And do a quick pour. There are probably better ways of doing this, but hey, I'm a backyard beekeeper, not a commercial beekeeper. There's about 12 ounces. Give it a scoop. Move that one aside. Grab another container. Oh, that customer is going to get a little more. As you can see, for my customers, I give them at least what the label says. A little more is not going to kill me or hurt me. And again, this is good enough backyard beekeeping. And once you finish this process, you're going to put it in the refrigerator. You're going to set it and forget it. Leave it in there for about 3 months. And your honey should have set by then. Be nice and firm. And your customers will be delighted. Now, understand, well, I sell 12 ounces of honey for $10. I sell creamed honey, 12 ounces of creamed honey, for $15. So look at value added. Well, that worked pretty well. You can see I have some left over. That'll be for me to take. So 6 pounds, 12 ounces of honey made 9 12-ounce tubs of creamed honey. When you make a creamed honey, you mix it with the seed honey, and your mixing time helps the crystals distribute into the liquid honey. This picture illustrates how the crystals have gaps in there, and the gaps are liquid honey. And when it sets, you will develop more crystals, and that will basically fill in the gaps between the crystals. So you'll see the final state where all of it is mostly crystals, but they're smaller, and that's what makes the creamed honey smooth, as opposed to just plain crystallized honey with large crystals that's very gritty. They're both crystallized honey. It's just that creamed honey has smaller crystals, and some will say they're even smooth. At least my understanding of crystals, they're usually not smooth. They're just very small, and that's what makes them appear to be smooth. But I guess if you do agitate it over a period of time, you will round off the crystals, and so maybe they are smooth. You can increase the value of your honey by making creamed honey out of it. I hope this was useful. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching if you stuck with me all the way here. And I'll see you at the next video.